You ready? Imagine you're in junk world, and all around you is a sea of objects. Some of these objects are familiar to you. They're imbued with past memories and hold a special meaning. Other objects you come across may be less familiar. Strong memories might not be tied to them, but you've seen them before. Maybe one of these objects exists in your kitchen, or you've seen it on a walk outside. Maybe it's something you've thrown away once, or several times. And some objects don't seem like objects at all. They bring to mind the intangible, the abstract, or maybe even something out of reach, like a certain constellation. Now, which of these objects make up your ideal woman, whoever or whatever that phrase means to you? What do you add in order to create your ideal woman?
I add a crumpled receipt that was saved out of sentimentality for the creases in her hands.
I add a scorched candle jar for all the nights she stays up late telling stories to the smell of pine.
I add a ceramic knife for her tongue should be as sharp in a battle of wits.
I would add sewed-on buttons for her eyes. They would be black, but I would give her a pouch of buttons so that she may change her eyes however she feels.
I add the sound you hear when you put your ear to a conch, the shell, because I imagine her voice is like the wind in that it can be gentle or rumbling and powerful. And also because it's like music.
I add the TV static white noise for the sound of her voice, and that it's
I would add
almost monotonous but soothing and calm and consistent.
I would add ice, because sometimes she's cold.
I add the patch on an old jacket, like not an iron on a patch, but a patch that like covered a hole or like a rip or tear for warmth and a sense of texture.
I add a sprinkle of flaky salt for her
I would add
work ethic.
I would give her wheels so that she may roam when she wants.
I add a leaky faucet for the way that she can't help but cry, like freely and openly, and it's something that just happens.
I add a chewed up wad of gum for all the things we have in common.
I add the water's reflection for all the things we have in common.
I add a pen with no ink for all the things we have in common.
I guess I'd add a mirror for her to look at herself, and she could then reflect on herself and see herself and choose.
I add a single googly eye with the adhesive still on the back, because when I think about how I relate differently to women than I do to other people, it's a sense of how they view the world, like this unblinking eye. It's this sense of being more visible somehow, which is at once scary or frightening, but also comforting.
I add lychees for the way that she's patient and methodical and how she does things, for the way that she enjoys taking her time, and she enjoys things taking time.
I would add
a pistachio shell for
a lock and key
a sense of whimsy.
for her to lock herself away when she wants to be alone.
Yeah, so I add a pistachio shell.
I had dewy grass for her smile.
I add a fingernail clipping for the crescent that's like the laugh line from smiling over the years.
I add the shoreline of a beach for the part of her I cannot reach but can see.
I add a bus ticket for the part of her I cannot reach.
I add an olive pit for all the things about her I will never understand.
I add twine for the faith she has in me.
Olives.
I add a letter in an envelope with a wax seal. That includes all my secrets.
I add
For the faith she has in me.
like an infinitely curling pencil shaving, a colored pencil shaving for the way that her laugh ripples out. The color is the pencil. The color I saw was like, what's the name of that color? Maybe it is cadmium. I want to say cadmium. Wait, let me go. Cadmium.
I would add red because red. I'll add red
Cadmium.
to represent her impulse.
Cadmium. Let's say cadmium.
And her fiery-ness.
I'm so into it.
Her anger, her warmth.
I add the molten core of the earth makes the earth happen. So her feet should be the molten core.
So what do you add for her soul?
Soul. Soul.
I add for her soul.
What is her soul? The soul. The whole thing about the soul is that it's not physical.
Her soul?
I think I need time to think about her soul.
What do I add for her soul?
Right now, I'm going through Junk World, like going through and trying to see what I find that looks like a soul. I have to think for a bit.
Her soul, I would give her a puzzle that has all the pieces. And it may need, everyone needs to put the puzzle together themselves. And everyone thinks that they're missing pieces, but the truth is we all have our pieces. We just kind of, maybe we dropped one or here or there. And they're maybe, lost and need to be found. But there's never, we never come out of the box incomplete. The pieces are somewhere around. So she has all her pieces. She's a puzzle with all her pieces.
I add the vibration of fine-tuned strings for her soul.
I add a pile of autumn leaves for her soul. Yeah.
I add the end of a lit match driven into a piece of paper or wood or any given surface, but that streak of embers as they kind of crush and turn into ash.
Who is she?
I don't know if archetype's the right word, but Miss Honey from Matilda. I think that she's exceptionally kind. Like, it's kindness is not something that she tries to be, or it's just something that she is. And thoughtful, and not necessarily thoughtful in the way that I'm thoughtful about someone else, right? But she just is always she's, I don't know, a pondering person, right? Someone who thinks a lot about a lot of people and a lot of different things.
I made me.
It's me. No question about
I made me.
it.
I can only make me.
Because no one else can fit up to that standard I just set.
But I only know what they show me. And so this woman is me. She's no other woman that I know. Technically, she is a woman I know because you know, in a very abstract way, those women, all the women that I know, are also me, and hopefully I can make them see that I am them also. But yeah, so that's me.
Okay, who is she? For me, this woman is, it's not she's not a specific woman. For me, it's more when I thought about like when you're in a room and it's the woman that represents the person on the other end of a look when you're in a room and you just kind of catch eyes across that space, and that some kind of kinship passes between two pairs of eyes, then I think this woman is the person on the other end of that look. So not necessarily somebody I know, but all the times in my life where I've felt that or experienced it in a more literal sense. It's going on the fridge.